served the realm well, at a time of need. That need is ended. You are no longer obliged. I release you of your seat, such as it was.
In this video, I'm going to discuss the 6th episode of season 2 and will discuss details like the changes in the opening credit, Cannibal eating a human, Sir Hugh petting Cheese's dog, Daemon dropping his wine cup when he started dreaming, Daemon seeing Viserys and Aemma Arryn in his dreams, and the lessons he learned from his dreams, etc. So stay tuned for that. Greetings Throne Watchers, only 2 more episodes are left in this season. So let's begin. As I said in my season 2 opening credits breakdown video, opening credits change along with the events of the season. So just like Game of Thrones season 7 and 8 and House of the Dragon season 1, the opening credits changed once again. I noticed a few new things in it. First, we see a different angle of the man and woman with the dragon. What I first thought was the stump of his hand was probably a plate or a bowl or something, because we see another plate below the woman along with some candles burning and flames flowing out of them. Then we see the tapestry of Aegon and Rhaenyra divided by a weirwood tree with green and red hands below them. You can also see Syrax below Rhaenyra. I have already discussed this tapestry along with the greens and black houses supporting them in my House of the Dragon season 2 opening credits breakdown video. Then we see Arrax and Luke surrounded by Vhagar and falling. You can see that one of Arrax's wing is falling in a different direction than the rest of them, and I think this wing was the one that Rhaenyra found. Then we see the aftermath of the Battle of Rook's Rest. You can see the torn bodies of soldiers burning on the ground. The castle around them is also broken and burning. In another shot, you can see Sunfire and Meleys on the ground while Vhagar is flying above them and Meleys is bleeding. There is a soldier in white clothes raising his sword above his head while a body is lying on his feet. If I have to guess, I think this is Sir Criston Cole, and the body at his feet is Rhaenys Targaryen. What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments. Then we see black blood moving from Meleys, passing what looks like a barricade right before it closes, and then moving towards the Iron Throne. When a dragon dies, black blood gushes out. So I think this indicates the dying of the dragons, and the barricade could imply the gates, and I'm not sure what the barricade means. Maybe the gates of King's Landing closing in and causing unrest among the small folks. What do you think this barricade means? Anyways, those were the changes in the opening credits. Now let's take a look at the greens first. Jason Lannister makes himself guest at House Lefford. They are also carrying a lion with them. Jason makes Lord Lefford send a letter summoning Aemond, saying they will only march once Aemond is with them, because they don't want to face Daemon and Caraxes alone. This makes Aemond super mad. He bunches up the letter and throws it on the table, which I had already discussed in my Greens trailer breakdown video. While they are talking, you can see Cole picking it up and reading it. By the way, it went from bunched up to smooth pretty fast. Probably just a mistake. Anyways, Alicent tries to give her 2 cents and Aemond kicks her off the council, which was pretty satisfying to watch, by the way. He also sends Cole off when Cole tries to support Alicent, which is very different from what happened in the first episode, where they were so easily able to manipulate Aegon. But Aemond is not Aegon. Alicent really feels hurt by this and asks her brother about her youngest son Daron, and Gwen says he is kind, which makes Alicent happy, as kind is not the word that comes to mind when you think of Aemond and Aegon, and she thinks she is to blame for this. I also posted a poll on this about who is to blame for how Aegon and Aemond turned out, and 63% people voted for Alicent, that Alicent is responsible. What are your thoughts on it? Who do you think is responsible for this? Anyways, When Aemon puts Larys in his place, Larys realizes Aemon cannot be easily controlled and decides that Aegon is the best way to get what he wants. So he forces Aegon to stay off the milk of the poppy for an hour, to give him some encouraging words and to clear his head. Larys tells Aegon that he is in danger, especially considering how fearsome his Kingsguard is. I had really assumed they will be fired by Aemon, so it was a nice surprise to see Leon Estamont still by Aegon's side. I don't think anyone else would want them. Maester Orwyle informs Aemon that Aegon has woken up. By the way, is it just me, or are the writers trying really hard to make the fans sympathize with Aegon in season 2 while sweeping away his crimes under the rug? I can sense his superfans' work at play. She also defended Aegon's rape scene, etc. during season 1. Anyways, Aemon had threatened Aegon not to tell anyone the truth, just like I had predicted he would in my episode 6 trailer breakdown video. By the way, I noticed that alongside the dagger, now Aemon is also carrying Viserys' sword, Blackfire. He is really trying to show everyone he is the ruler now. So Aegon asks for Larys' help. I don't know why. I have a feeling Larys is going to keep him off his meds for at least an hour every day to make him get used to the pain and to clear his head. Since the Smallfolks received Rhaenyra's gift, they start supporting Rhaenyra and attack Alicent and Helena when they go to pray in the Grand Sept. Luffy's grandpa gets them out of there. He's Vice Admiral Garp. Of course he can do it. Anyway, when Aemon hears about the unrest among the small folks, he asks them, why are they blaming us? It's because of Rhaenyra's blockade that they are in a shortage of food. And Larys says, people expect the ones in charge of them to take care of it. And to deal with the blockade, Aemon has tasked Sir Tylan Lannister to contact the Triarchy and get their help against everyone's advice. So that's all has happened with the Greens. Let's take a look at the Blacks now. Rhaenyra looks up the bloodlines and chooses Sir Stephen Darklyn to try claiming Sea Smoke. By the way, when Sir Darklyn enters, you can see a close-up shot of the ship carving which I had already discussed in my episode 3 breakdown video. By the way, when they were singing that song, Drakari Piqueros, I had goosebumps. That song was so beautiful. Am I the only one who can't get it out of my head? Anyways, so when they say to High-Risk multiple times, Sea Smoke finally takes the stance to take a rider on. But the second Sir Darklyn thinks he has claimed him, Sea Smoke goes, psych, not today, and then burns Sir Stephen. Dragon flames are said to burn much hotter than normal flames, and you can see that this dragon seed knows that, and he cuts his throat rather than burning to death. Too bad nobody told Sir Stephen, so he dies screaming in pain. I think the reason it didn't work was because Sir Stephen was scared of Sea Smoke. As you can see in this shot here, he reached out for his sword the minute Sea Smoke arrived, which is not something a dragon would like. I think as long as you are scared of a dragon, you would never be able to ride them. That's why we hear about the brave and daring kids like Rhaenys, Rhaenyra, Laena, Aemond, etc. being able to claim adult dragons, while adults like Sir Stephen Darklyn fail to do it. Sea Smoke really doesn't like secrets. He decided to take it upon himself to reveal Corlys, aka Rhaenyra's new hand's secret to the world. On a serious note, as I've explained in my Why Targaryens Intermarry video and many other videos before, one dragon can bond with only one rider at a time. And as long as that rider is alive, they cannot or won't or will not bond with another dragon. This bond is for life until one of them dies, which means Sir Lenor has died in the Free Cities. And speaking of Lenor, Rhaenyra holds a sword in her hand and thinks if she had been trained to fight since childhood, her council might have taken her more seriously. Because as I had predicted in my episode 6 trailer breakdown video, she finally had enough of Sir Bartimos Celtigar's rude behavior, strikes him and says, "It's my fault you have forgotten to fear me." By the way, the sword has a dragon on the pommel. At first, I thought it might be Sir Leonor's, especially considering how Bella also had been looking at it longingly, which I'd already discussed in my episode 5 breakdown video about why this sword might be important. But when I zoomed in on Leonor's sword, it had a dragon egg-shaped pommel. So if this sword isn't his, why was Bella looking at it so longingly? Any guesses on whose sword it could be? As for Corlys, he shows up at the meeting wearing the hand sigil, which makes Rhaenyra really happy. Then he orders Aelin to be his first mate after Aelin refuses him in a subtle way. In the background, you can see Adam using this tool to tie the knots while he watches them. He is happy for Aelin, but Aelin says the sea snake would sooner have high tide claimed by the sea than call us his sons. But Sea Smoke, like a hero of justice, takes matter into his own hands, or rather wings, and in a very hiccup and toothless way claims Lenore. I mean Sir Adam. See, even I got confused. No wonder Sea Smoke took him for Lenore. I wonder how Corlys would react to this, as according to Adam, Corlys only likes Aelin and ignores Adam. Why do you think he does that? Dinah is working in a tavern, which is really surprising as Aegon can visit any time, but he probably won't remember her. Miss Arya helps Rhaenyra create trouble in King's Landing by sending the whore Sylvie to spread rumors that the castle is feasting while they are all starving, and by sending them food and turning the small folks on Rhaenyra's side. By the way, I discussed these riots scene in my Plots House of the Dragon Season 2 Part 2 video. Also, you can see Sir Hugh petting Cheese's dog, who has now gotten a lot dirtier than we last saw him in the previous episode when the soldier brought down the rat catcher's bodies. I loved how cleverly they chose the location to spread the rumors. As you can see here, the tavern isn't too crowded, but there are enough people that they can spread the word quickly. By the way, was I the only one who was surprised at how quickly Sylvie turned on Daemon? Or do you think she has always been working for Miss Arya and spying on the Greens through Aemond? I noticed how Miss Arya keeps encouraging Rhaenyra to not contact Daemon and to stand on her own in very subtle ways. Do you remember my Who is the Mastermind videos? I still believe that Miss Arya is working for that mastermind and is cleverly steering the war the way he wants by manipulating Rhaenyra. In fact, her kissing Rhaenyra could be a part of that plan as well. What do you think? Do you think she really loves Rhaenyra, or is this all a part of her plan to manipulate her? Their kiss gets interrupted and Sir Lauren barges in and informs Rhaenyra that Sea Smoke has a new rider. Rhaenyra immediately flies out to meet him, and as I discussed in my episode 7 trailer breakdown video, she will confront Adam about claiming Sea Smoke. In the Vale, Rhaena and Joffrey find charred bones of animals and Rhaena confronts Jane Arryn about it. Jane Arryn says it's a wild dragon who came farther foraging for food. I think this might be the work of Cannibal. It could have been sheep stealer if it had just been the sheeps, but as you can see here, it seems like a human shape in the middle, which means Cannibal probably ate a human as well. I think this was a good way to introduce Cannibal, but it seems like George R.R. Martin was not happy with this. As you can see here, in his Not a Blog post, he wrote about how the dragons are not nomadic. He said, "You won't find dragons hunting the Riverlands or the Reach or the Vale or roaming the Northlands or the mountains of Dawn. Fantasy needs to be grounded. Ignore canon and the world you have created comes apart like tissue paper." Am I the only one who thinks that last part was referring to David and Dan and to Game of Thrones Season 8? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, we get our first look at Stormcloud, who is watching intently while his bondmate is playing. I'm calling him bondmate because I doubt Aegon has ridden him yet. Anyways, after watching for a while, Stormcloud gets bored and goes looking for his own entertainment, while Aegon the Younger Younger and Viserys are playing. Stormcloud looks so beautiful. Lady Jane Arryn tells Rhaena that a merchant cog named Gay Abandon will take them to Pentos, and she would send 6 good men to ensure their safety. And last, Daemon finally sees Viserys in kind of a flashback scene to season 1 when he asked Daemon about calling Balon an heir for a day, and then he sees Viserys crying over the dead body of Aemma Arryn. At first I thought it was their mother, but upon a closer look, I think it was Aemma Arryn. Daemon consoles Viserys and says, "I'm sorry, I should have been here, but now I am here." I think this is a step forward for Daemon because he realized his mistake and corrected it. I think he is coming around and slowly learning to not leave the people he loves in anger. By the way, in the shot where Simon Strong wakes up Daemon, you can see that Daemon dropped the cup and the wine is spilling, which means Daemon was awake and was about to drink from the cup when he started having this dream, just like he heard a woman's voice call his name right after he entered Harrenhal. I have already discussed that scene in my episode 3 breakdown video. So Daemon is starting to lose it and he decides to leave, but Alice stops him from leaving. In this shot, you can see how eager Craxus is to leave. I think he is bored out of his mind. He has nothing to do but wait for Daemon. By the way, I never thought about it before, but do you think Daemon's dreams or visions are affecting Craxus as well, since they also share a psychic bond and Craxus can feel what Daemon is feeling? Anyways, so Daemon asks Alice for help. I think Daemon asking for her help is a huge step forward for him because he usually doesn't rely on someone else. So it does seem like Daemon's dreams were of use and he is learning from his mistakes through his visions and is slowly changing. I hope he will change enough to become loyal to Rhaenyra, at least the show version, because he was already loyal in the books. So Alice kills Grover Tully, making Oscar Tully the Lord Paramount of the Riverlands. As for what will happen next, I have already discussed it in my episode 7 breakdown video. I'll also post my episode 8 aka season 2 finale trailer breakdown soon. If you like this video, please hit the like button below, share the video and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. 7 blessings to you.